Hi guys, welcome to day 16 of my channel. You only get one chance, right? I am still in the midst of my 72-hour EEG, hence my headgear. At this point, guys, I am not gonna lie to you. I am just exhausted and would really like to get this thing off. I do still have 24 more hours, a little over 24 more hours to go. But I am definitely over this right now. I really would like to go lay in my bed. I'm kind of regretting my choice a little to be in the living room versus in my room because of the camera that's watching me, but here we are. So I realized going back through my vlogs, I never explained the reason I call my vlog what I call it. You only get one chance, right? So here is the backstory. In 2017, December of 2017, my younger sister, who was 19 at the time, got into a horrific car accident. I was living with my mother at the time and living with my sister and my little brother. And I had been texting my little sister back and forth. She was hanging out with her boyfriend at the time. And I was like, hey, I'm going to bed. And she's like, okay, you know, I'll talk to you later. So as I was going to bed, I heard sirens. And you know, you're used to hearing sirens, right? Like we hear them all the time. We hear, you know, police cars, ambulance, fire trucks, like the whole gambit sometimes, depending on what's going on. And I heard sirens as I was going to bed and I didn't think anything of it. Well, a couple hours later, I started to dream that my sister's boyfriend's mother was calling me over like FaceTime, or not FaceTime, but Facebook Messenger. And I was like, this is a really weird dream, right? So apparently I kept ignoring it, but it was really happening. And then finally my phone actually rang, like my normal ringtone, which woke me up, and it was my sister's boyfriend at the time. And he said, hey, Faith, you know, you need to get up. You need to get up right now. You need to go to the hospital. Your sister and I were in a really bad car accident. I don't know if she made it. And of course, at that point, I'm panicking, right? Like I have just woken up. It's like, if I remember right, like 11 or midnight. I run down the hall. I wake up my mom. We get in the car to go to the hospital. At that point, we had not talked to any police. We had not talked to anybody. We were just going because that's what, you know, her boyfriend said where she was. And we get to the stoplight, like right outside our house. And there is the aftermath of the accident. And my heart sunk. My mom flipped out. Not gonna lie to you, like it was not pretty. Police officers were trying to get us, you know, under control, because they didn't realize that, you know, that was our family, you know, my sister that had been in that accident. We finally got them to understand what we were, you know, kind of freaking out about, and they understood, and they're like, do you need an escort, you know, to the hospital? And we're like, no, we'll just get there. I took over driving because my mom was so incredibly shaken, and we got there. And to be honest with you, the rest of the evening for me is just a blur. They sat us in a really small room and we just waited. Just waited for somebody, anybody. And the next thing I remember is somebody coming in going, you know, she's in surgery. She's been in surgery for the last 3.5 hours. It's not looking good. Be prepared. And then they left us in this room. At one point we did have like a security person in there because I'm sure, like if you all have children or close family members, like, you know that it's just, you can only imagine how heart-wrenching like the whole scenario was. And so she did make it out of surgery and got sent to the ICU, and we went up to the ICU and saw her, and I promise you it is the one image that will be burned in my mind for the rest of my life. And we stayed. We were surrounded by people that were doing their best to care for her. And once we started reaching out to family and friends, we had an overwhelming amount of support. We had so much support that they ended up having to move us to a storage room that they cleaned out because we were taking over the family waiting room, because at any point in time we could have anywhere from 20 to 50 people in this waiting room for her. It baffled me and humbled me and amazed me all at the same time, the impact that she had had on so many people's lives in 19 years, right? She's still young. She hasn't even gotten a chance really to fully understand what living life, you know, is in our perspective anyway. We were there for a month and a half. And the night before, well, the doctors came in after a month and a half and said, "I'm really sorry, but, you know, there's no more brain activity. She's no longer responding to pain stimuli. We've taken her out of, you know, the coma, and she's not responding. We've reduced her meds to try to get her to respond, and she's no longer responding." So, like, trying to help us come to terms with that scenario. And my sister's a fighter. She always has been. And we could not fathom pulling the plug or doing anything of that sort. So we're like, we're just going to give it time. Well, an amazing couple from Texas, who we did not know directly, but had heard Morgan's story, drove from Texas to Colorado, where we were at the time, and came in the hospital and found us and prayed with us and prayed over Morgan. And then they left. And they said, "We're going to keep her in our thoughts." And, you know, these people didn't even know us. They had no idea who we were. There was no direct connection to them. But they felt called to come see us and to pray over Morgan. And I kid you not, later that evening, she opened her eyes. They told us she'd never walk, she'd never talk, she would never live a normal life again. 95% of the left side of her brain was damaged, and they just were like, you know, this is kind of the life that she's gonna live, and we're so sorry, you know, that this is happening. There's nothing we can do to fix her brain at this point. And my sister pretty much was like, "That ain't gonna happen. That's not me." Spent some time in an amazing place called Craig Hospital. She not only learned to talk again, she learned to walk and run and hike. She got her driver's license back. She finished and graduated from college. She has her first adult job, you know, with her degree. She's living with a roommate now instead of living with us. And she's doing amazing. And yes, does she have bumps and hills to climb and sometimes mountains to climb to get her body to react and her brain to react the way she wants it to? Yes, but her brain is rewiring and refiguring things out, and man, she's doing so incredibly well. Before her accident, I felt like everything happened for a reason, but I was not willing to let go of the control that I thought I had in my life because I wanted to control my own outcome. I felt like you had one shot, right? You had one shot to get the career that you wanted. You had one shot to get the life that you wanted. You had one shot to get the partner that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. You know, and people talk about that all the time, right? There's so many songs and, you know, books and things that are like, well, you only get one shot, right? You only get one chance. And don't mess it up. Don't, you know, and we put all this pressure on ourselves to not mess it up or to not screw it up. And then after her accident, I was like, man, if God could show me in any other way that there are second chances, like, this is it. This is the second chance. And my entire life perspective changed after that incident. And even going through what I'm going through now, I know that it's not just one chance. I don't get just one chance. I get as many as I'm willing to allow myself to have, right? As many as I work for, as many as, you know, God gives me. I'm going to have chances to change my perspective, to change what I'm doing, to change careers, to change my life, to change other people's lives, to impact the world, even if it's in the smallest way, you know, even if it's in a minute way that I can't even see. I get more than one chance. And I think that sometimes that we have to remember that because we put 150% into one thing, right? Sometimes we put all of our eggs in one basket and we are so incredibly devastated if that basket doesn't work and we feel like it's the end. Like we had our one shot and we blew it, and now what are we going to do? And this vlog, my journey of going through this hidden illnesses that I have, has proven to me yet again that you don't only get one chance. So, name of the blog, You Only Get One Chance, right? Is always a question, and it's a question for you to answer for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we choose where we put our eggs. I know Easter's coming, so I'm using an Easter basket, right? You get the choice of where you put your focus, where you put your energy, where you put your time. And if it doesn't work the first time, you get another chance to do it again. But it's a question that you have to ask yourself every single day, because you get to decide what life you want to live, what impact you want to have, and what choices you want to make. So as I sit here, utterly miserable, and I know that there are people out there who are experiencing way worse things than just having a 72-hour EEG, but man, am I uncomfortable. As I sit here and remember, I get more chances. This is only 72 hours. There's no woe is me, right? I don't want to wallow in the fact that, oh my gosh, I'm so uncomfortable. You know, I'm literally having to stay here for 3 days and complain and whine and do all of those other things, right? I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a chance that this test will determine what's actually going on in my brain, and they will be able to have full diagnosis for me after this. This is the last full test that they're, you know, gonna run potentially to rule out. And if anything comes back from this, obviously there will be more tests, but if nothing comes back for this, then, you know, they have the diagnosis that they originally thought, and will continue to treat that diagnosis, the PNES, or this, you know, the psychological non-epileptic seizures. So I hope everyone is having a beautiful Sunday. I would rather be outside. I hope you guys are enjoying it for me. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. I saw I got some new subscribers. Shout out to you guys and following this journey with me. I apologize. I know I look so tired because, man, sleeping in this thing is so uncomfortable. So forgive the appearance today. But I'm so happy y'all are following this journey. I really hope it's helping someone. And I am here. If you want to reach out, if you want to chat, if you want to talk, obviously I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck. I'm tethered. But also I really am here to help support you in the best way that I can, and to show you my experience and what I'm going through in hopes that it helps you or someone you know. All right, guys, well, have a beautiful Sunday. Enjoy it for me, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.